Hello, BookTube. I have a little time before work. I want to do a quick video, talk about some books that I've read, that I am reading, and that I've acquired. And sometimes the same book will fall in all three categories. But today's first day of school for my youngest boy. We got a very, very busy summer. My two oldest have been in school for about a week. We got a new puppy, German Shepherd, a little guy named Dixon, who's no longer little. He just seems to double in weight every couple weeks, but he's going to be a big boy, but he's been great fun. The cats are trying to adapt to his presence, and he's exuberant all the time, and they are not. They're a little older. But we've been having fun. Went to Maine for vacation, so it's been a very, 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 very busy summer. But I did manage to pick up some books, and I did manage to get some reading done. I want to talk about it a little bit. And first thing, I just finished The Private Life of William Shakespeare. This is Lena Cohen Orland, and it's Oxford University Press. It just came out. It 2021, so quite recent, and I really enjoyed it. Very academic, very scholarly, good notes and all that, as you'd expect. Timelines, appendices, appendices. Gets into the details of evidence. And I'd also just read A Midsummer Night's Dream, and oh no, I read Much Ado About Nothing. That's the most recent one I had done. And conversation came up. I managed to get this book, and bit of a rabbit hole, as Shakespeare always is, and enjoyed it very much, but not maybe as narrative a history or biography as some others. So with that caveat, I enjoyed it, and I think some of you might, and others would just say, okay, give me something a little different. So anyway, so I finished that, and now I'm currently reading, sorry about the glare there, I've got the curtains shut, but obviously there's a opening there. So I'm in the middle of book 3 of The Wheel of Time, The Dragon Reborn. I've been collecting these Daryl K. Sweet covers. I managed to pick up a bunch of those. So now I think the only one I have left to get, I need volume 14, and I need to replace my volume 3 because it's a book club edition, although it has right artwork. So I'm enjoying this. I haven't picked it up in a week or so I need to get back. And yeah, it's going well, and a little different than the television show, which I watched and enjoyed, but I'm finding, yeah, I guess the jury's out. We'll see what season 2, if that comes out, I think it is, what that's like. So the characters seem quite a bit different to me. Also, I managed to pick up, and then partway through, James Boswell, The Earlier Years, 1740 to 1769, by Frederick A. Pottle, the great Yale scholar who did so much to bring out all these Boswell volumes. Many people know Boswell from his Life of Johnson, but yeah, he does a very detailed job. This is the early years. He did not do a part 2 of this. So there was a part 2 done, but it wasn't by him. So I'll have to track that down. And I'm learning a lot from this. I find Boswell fascinating. I find him more fascinating than his own subject matter, which is Johnson. So really, 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 really glad to have this. And then the other one I'm reading right now is Crucible of War by Fred Anderson. This is about the 7 Years' War. In the United States, we refer to it as the French and Indian War. This is a really, really well-written history. And I'm learning things, although I've read a lot about this particular period in history, because a lot of it took place right where I'm at right now. Crown Point Road goes by my house, which is built then or cut through the wilderness. So it has a connection to the landscape here and other parts of the country too, not just here. And what I'm finding is some of the details about the just brutal details about the war are a little hard to take, but that's the way it was. So I'm really, really into this. I read quite a bit last night, and enjoying it. So hope to finish that one up soon. Then books I haven't started reading but did recently acquire. This one sort of goes with that. Well, it does go with that other Pottle volume on Boswell. This is Boswell in Holland. Oh wow, look at that glare. Nice shape. When did this come out? Has a great book plate in it. It's fantastic. But this came out, the McGraw-Hill Book Company, New York, London, and Toronto. And it came out, it says first edition, 1928, 1952 by Yale University Press. So this must be the McGraw-Hill first edition. But Boswell in Holland, 1763, 1764, including his correspondence with Zalid, edited by Frederick A. Pottle. So I read the volume that's prior to this. And why I got into all this is I read Pottle's editing of Boswell's London Journal. Fantastic book if you get a chance to get a hold of it. That's where I got interested in all this. So, but another rabbit hole because of the William Shakespeare book. This is a very famous book that's been reprinted. You can find it in reprints. I found a nice old edition of it, and that's Shakespeare Lives, or Lives, by Schoenbaum. I have not read this. I've read a few pages just to get a feel for it, and it's what it sounds like is because we don't have so many details about Shakespeare. How do the scholars follow it, and how have they followed the details that we do have through time? The other book did that too, but this is the focus of this in a way that looks like it'll be interesting to me. Like I say, I know it's a very well-known book, very famous. I've never gotten around to it, and when I found a copy for like $7, I said I'll grab it and I'll give it a go. It's a sort of intellectual history that I enjoy sometimes. So there you have it. Book haul, book reading type of thing for sure. I have a book sale coming up at my own library. We've already started organizing. I used it as an opportunity to weed and reorganize my shelves. But it looks like we're going to have a really good book sale, and I'll run into some volumes there that I'll add to my own collection. My house is only so big, and I'm starting to realize that I need to weed the garden a bit and keep things under control. So, but we do have a book sale coming. That'd be fun. We have a few other projects coming up, and I'll talk about those later. But thought I'd take this opportunity to say hello to everyone. I've seen a few new booktubers, and in another video I'll mention some of that. So hope all is well, and thank you, BookTube.